I'm in the same sweatshirt as the video I posted last night because it's the last day of 2017 and I wanted to talk to you about all the books I read. These books are in no order whatsoever. They're just all the books that I read in 2017. I think I read about like 18 books this year, which honestly is not a lot, but for me it is because this was my first year like reading all year long, and I think I did pretty well for myself being it was my first year doing this, first year doing booktube. So I mean, we're just gonna go into talking about all the books that I read, so let's just go with it. First, right here, it's literally just gonna be what's ever near me. It's Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This book, and if I could find it, I don't know where it went. It's right here. It's right here. So we're going to talk about Eliza and Her Monsters and Fangirl because these two books really meant a lot to me this year when I read them. They're just like stories that remind me, they make me think of me as a person, and they just, Fangirl especially, just reminds me of how I was like as a teenager and how I was always that girl that wrote fan fiction, that was always obsessed with the TV show growing up. Like, that was me when I was, like, growing up. So, it really made me realize, like, made me, like, appreciate who I was and how no one, you can't let anyone judge you for the things that you like. So, I really appreciated these two reads of this year. These two reads were honestly my favorite, and I'm so happy that I own them both in hardcover. I want to get, they have really nice, they have the pink cover, I've seen it. And I really want to get it of Fangirl because it's so pretty. And I love the pastel-y colors that they pick for it. Because this one is kind of like beat up at this point because it's been in my closet for a while. So those are two. And then we got, okay, this I read in the summer. A Quarter Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I finished this in about like 6 days because I read it during a readathon. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't my favorite. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It was great. It put me into a book slump for a little while, though. I do have Akamath that I never finished, but I do tend to try to next year. Like, January is going to be a busy reading month for me, so I'm going to hopefully get to it at some point. But this was definitely, like, I know a lot of people are so hyped about this. My best friend, like, read all of them, and I definitely want to get to them. I want to own all the hard covers, so maybe once next year happens and I get the other two in hardcover, I will actually get to them. Next is my favorite series. I finished the first two books of the Red Rising series by Pierce Brown. I was so proud of myself that I finished Golden Sun before the year was over. I didn't think I was going to be able to, but I did, and I made sure that like that was my main goal. I know Morning Star I still got to read before Iron Gold comes out next month, and I will get to that. I think that might be my next read after I finish the third Percy Jackson, but I'm not sure because I've been in such a Percy Jackson mood that, like, I keep going, like, and, like, after every time I finish a book, I continue with Percy Jackson, so I'm not sure how that's gonna happen, so we'll see about that. But I do highly, highly recommend this series. If you like the sci-fi, if you like, space and different worlds, like, this is a great read, and it's very gory, it's very, like, it's, like, has that, like, the whole, like, violent and, like, scenes that are just, like, you're just, like, what, did I actually just read that? Like, that's what this is, and I highly recommend them. Pierce is an amazing writer, and he did this world such justice, and I so love it. And then, I normally am not for poetry when it comes to poetry reads, but Milk and Honey has been one of those books that I've seen, like, all year round, and everyone had it, so I had to pick it up, and I read it within an hour, and it was honestly a really sweet read, and it was really, like, you related to a lot of the poems and stuff like that, and I just really liked it. I still gotta pick up, the next one, but I will eventually. It's not, like, my rush to, but I definitely wanted Milk and Honey before the year was over, and I did like it a lot. Alright, what do I got next to me? I got Lady Midnight next to me, because we all know how I feel about Lady Midnight. I still need to read Lord of Shadows, and I will do that. I'm waiting for it to come in paperback, because the thing with Cassandra Clare books is I have them mostly all in paperback, besides The Tale from a Shadow Hunter and the Code of Conduct, because it doesn't come in paperback, so the only two that I don't have in paperback are those two. Everything else I do own in paperback. And I have, like, 3 books from the Mortal Instruments series in hardcover, because when I was reading them, my mom had let me, like, pick them up, and they were, certain times they were only in hardcover, certain times they're only in paperback. Now they really only have them in paperback, so I've been getting them in paperback, and the paperbacks are beautiful. But you can tell I definitely beat this one up. The spine is completely broken, and I really love this read. I love these new characters. I thought I wasn't going to really like it because I'm so used to, like, the infernal devices and the more instruments. But this was perfect because it had all the characters that you love in this series. And that's what made me so, so happy. Like, it wasn't completely different. And it just made me really happy, and I enjoyed it. I did find out that I was supposed to read Tales of, like, Shadowhunt, like, that Academy about Simon, that Simon one. I was supposed to read that before this, but I ended up not. Oh, well. Let's see. Next, I have... What else do I got here? I got Children of Eden by Joey Graceffa. This one is a little bit similar to, like, the concept of a new world, kind of like Red Rising in a way. And it's about brother and sister, and they just have to find their way how to, like, survive. The sisters, you're not allowed to have 2 children, and it's just kind of, like, really cool how Joey's a YouTuber, if you don't know who he is, and seeing him write and create a world. I did just get his second book that I will plan on reading in January, but I really loved it. It's very short, it's very easy read, and it was really good. I do recommend it, and I love his covers. His covers are so beautiful whenever he comes out with covers. Next is another one of my favorite reads, is Geek Guerilla. This was actually, before BookCon, I had read this, and then my best internet friend, Crystal, and I had an extra copy. This one is actually my signed copy that she signed for me at BookCon, and I had an extra one because a friend had given it to me, and I was like, do you want this? It's my second copy. I don't really need 2 copies of it. And she's like, yeah, and then she gave me, I forgot, she gave me Carry On, I think. I forgot, but I still haven't gotten to that yet because I'm such a bad reader. But, she loved it, and I was so glad that she loved it because this was one of my favorite reads of 2017 also. I just related a lot to the whole concept. I feel like Geek Guerilla, Liza and Her Monsters, and Fangirl all have, like, similar, like, plot lines in a way, and they're very, like, easy standalones to read. So I really did enjoy this. And the cover is just gorgeous. The color scheme, everything. I'm excited for her next book, Heart of Iron. I'm really excited for that to come out. Then, in the beginning of the year, I read The Outsiders, and I never actually read this in school. Everyone's like, what, you didn't read this when you were in school? And I was like, I didn't have to. I was not in the mainstream English classes growing up, so I was not forced to read The Outsiders, and this was, like, my first read of this year, and I really did enjoy it. Like, this made me want to read more throughout the year, and I do recommend if you're in school, stick with it, don't give up on it, because it is definitely a good read. Then we got my favorite series of all time. We got Percy Jackson. I finished the first 2 this year. I'm currently reading the 3rd one, which I'll probably finish today because I have so much time and I'm babysitting later and I have nothing to do. So I finished the first 2, and I'm currently 50 pages in the 3rd one, and I just love these covers. I love this world. I just love Percy Jackson, and I just have so many feelings to this world, and I love Greek mythology, and I just love it so much. So yeah, that's I will definitely make a video about, like, Percy Jackson and my thoughts and everything, because I still haven't done that yet. I'm really bad with reviews so far, and I really, really apologize. Next is Orlando Stories, The World Collides by Chris Colfer. If anyone knows, when these books first came out, I was a huge Glee fan. And when Chris brought it upon us that he was writing a series, I was like, oh my god, no way. And I went to, like, all the book signings. I missed this one, hopefully, because I missed this when I was in California, and they didn't have the California one when I was there. So I didn't get to go to the last one. But I did get the book when I was there, and I did finish it when I was in California. And I loved it. I love this book so much, and I just love this series. I'm so glad he's continuing them, and they're not ending just yet. And they're just so good if you ever, like, feel like you want an escape. It's a children's book, but I feel like it's so much more than just, like, a children's story, and it's just so beautifully written, and I just love the characters. It kind of reminds me of Once Upon a Time in a way, because it deals with all the same characters, and it deals with, like, twins that have a storybook. Like, it's kind of like the same concept in a way, but different at the same time. Next, we're going to talk about a series that killed me this summer. It's called the Shatter Me series by Terra Mafia. If I butchered her last name, I apologize, but this series killed my soul. And I just, wow, I don't even know what to say. I love the series. I love Warner. I love all of it. I just love it all so much. It's been a while. I need Restore Me. I need it so, so bad. Also, forever mad that my dad got me hardcover when all my other ones are paperback, because that's my, like, my OCD comes in, and I can't. I'm gonna have to buy, the next two in paperback, because that's how I am when I get my bookcase. I'm gonna need it all in, like, the same. And then the next one, I think is my last one that I read too, is Note to Self by Connor Franta. This came out in, like, the beginning of the year, and I got it, and it's just, like, a bunch of, like, little poetry, like, little, like stories of his life. I actually listened to it in audiobook mostly, and it was really pretty because it was him, and it was him talking, and it was really nice. It's a really sweet read, and I do recommend it also. So those were all the books that I read in 2017, and I can't believe tomorrow is the first day of 2018, and it just blows my mind that I've been on BookTube for almost a year, and it's just, like, I just love this community. I love all, like, everyone being so sweet. I love reading, and it's just so nice. So I hope you guys have had a good 2017. I hope you guys have an amazing 2018, and I'll catch you guys next year. Bye.